We're not ready. We're not ready. No.
Turn the music down. Turn the music off. Oh, here we go. Yeah, stand by, Adam. Stand by.
Okay.
There we go.
Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone we're on, not sure. But for those asking who is he and haven't had the pleasure of meeting me yet, I'm Adam, and I've had the unfortunate task of being Ryan's bestie since back in 1998. I've been told that's nearly a quarter of a century ago. So we're well past our sell-by dates by now, especially in gay years. But ever the businessman, good job, Ivan, sealed the deal earlier today, even if it did take quite a while.
Well, you were paying enough for the room, I wanted to stretch it out, Adam. That's what
So I've been given the task of headlining today. Sorry, I mean speaking first. But glad I've got your attention. Trust me, it's all downhill from here with this lineup. COVID, budget cuts, all of that. You know, we had to make some cutbacks. Well, welcome all to what I'm sure you'll agree is a truly fantastic and fitting venue for the Happy Couples reception. Ryan's head is usually in the clouds, so we didn't want to bring him back down to earth for this special occasion, and why should we? You both should enjoy every minute of this very special day. I know these speeches are supposed to include lots of embarrassing stories of the boys from the past, but to be honest, these guys haven't given us that much to go on. However, I do love a challenge, so here goes. For those wanting other embarrassing moments afterwards, just log on to one of their Globe Guys videos. I'm sure it won't take you long to find one. All the planning really has paid off, and we're all so pleased to have shared this special occasion with you both. To be honest, there were times during the planning of all of this that I was unsure whether Ryan was just going to skip today, go straight to the airport with his 3 suitcases in hand, and wait for the flight for the honeymoon. Don't worry, Ryan, it's not long now. It's great to see so many of you make it from all over to celebrate, even as far as the USA, over in the back corner. And also good to see that Ryan's family all made the long haul trip over the Pennines from Barnsley. I forgot to mention, for those that speak Barnsley, that translation and subtitles are available by pressing the red button underneath your chairs. Did you see them all move then?
What's that mean?
Push the button. On a serious note, though, it's great to see everyone back together after the last few years. We're able to socialise in this environment, not just 30, because, I mean, they'd have been a bit stuck to choose 30 from this group of people. And I've lost my place. And to see faces that I haven't personally seen for a very, very long time. Ryan's parents, Alison, Gary, brothers, James, Thomas, were always great fun when Ryan and I were growing up, and we enjoyed many family summer outings whilst I used to stay at their house. It was always hilarious to watch Ryan walking around with his collar up, on his polo shirt. And his hands over his neck so he didn't get sunburn. Has he grown out of this yet, Ivan?
No. What's around like this?
It's a shame Ryan's grandma can't be with us today, as one of my first memories with Ryan as teenagers was the trips we did with his granddad, visiting airports such as East Midlands and Manchester to watch the planes at some crazy time in the morning. Skip forward a year or so, and my mum and Ryan's mum, Alison, were letting us both roam free at about 14 years old, travelling around the country by trains, planes, automobiles, for day trips costing about £5 return to Birmingham and London. Being from Yorkshire, we always made sure we got the most out of the fare, with the free tea and coffee on offer on Midland Main Line. I'm not quite sure what the record was when we got on one trip, but we definitely didn't sleep for a while. These days, we do still do it, just with champagne in the lounge rather than the coffee. Which reminds me of my favourite Globe Guys Given video. Apart from the ones I guest feature in, of course, is the one where Ryan gets progressively more drunk as the flight goes on. Ivan keeps asking him questions, he gets glazed looks back and sarcastic comments.
Standard Saturday night, Adam.
Yeah. And in the end, Ryan just holds up an empty glass upside down. Back to our teenage years, though. Not letting you get off that lightly, Ryan. Ivan needs to know what he's getting himself in for, although I think he might have worked that out by now. How we didn't get abducted back then, I really do not know. Including the time when Ryan arranged for us to meet some 40-year-old Lufthansa cabin crew on top of the car park at Manchester Airport. That probably goes down as one of the weirdest things he's done. And school life was never a dull moment either. In the classes I was with Ryan, we drove the DT cooking teachers to distraction and pushed them to tears on more than one occasion. Another classic moment was a little later when we were at sixth form college and Ryan forced us all to line up the chairs in a format like a plane cabin so that he could do his pretend safety demonstration to us all, stopping our other friends from coming into the room whilst the important demo was in progress. Little did he know that the head of sixth form was on the other side of the door and heard every little last word that came out of Ryan's mouth, leaving only Ryan the one to need to hear the words brace, brace, and where's the nearest exit. Who'd have thought that after all of that, we would make it to a successful career at EasyJet home? But I think you get the picture, that it was meant to be from the early years, and I'm sure Mark will fill us in with more antics shortly. So, that's the past. Now all that's left for me to say is to look to the future. Firstly, wishing us all a great time today, celebrating Ivan and Ryan's special day. To wish them both a long and happy marriage, and hope that we can share lots more fun things all together. And of course, Ryan, I haven't forgotten, a truly fantastic honeymoon. So, can I now ask you all to raise your glasses to Ryan and Ivan?
What to do?
Testing 1, 2.
Testing. Thank you, Adam. That was an absolutely amazing speech. You made me look really rubbish now, but fantastic, Adam. And just like to say thank you for coming, everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Mark. I've been friends with Ryan for 20 years now. Still single, following the tone from earlier, so, you know, any offers. I'd just like to say, hope you're all happy with your seats. They have been allocated, and if you've got any issues, cabin manager Ryan will be happy to take your complaints. So thank you for coming, and for those that you I'll be saying a few words, thank you for still deciding to come along as well. Everyone's looking really great today, especially the bridesmaids, Adele, Emma, Nicole, looking fresh as ever. So thank you. So as you know, Ryan and Ivan, they love a journey. They love to travel and they enjoy the finer things in life. So today we're celebrating probably the ultimate journey that they're taking. But first of all, I want to take you back to the start of this journey, almost 20 years ago. Now, I first met Ryan in 2002. Of course, via a Plane Enthusiast website. I think it was airliners.net. It was 2002. Those apps didn't exist, I promise you. So we decided to meet after lots of talking at the very exclusive luxury venue of Sheffield Meadow Hall. So there we were, two 18-year-olds decided to bunk off college, didn't tell our parents, similar to Adam. I don't know what our parents were doing, but it was very carefree and just do what you like, didn't you? Yeah. So there we were, met in Meadow Hall, and I knew that we both had a bit of a rebellious side, as what we were doing was probably quite unsafe. But our friendship grew, lots of other travel days out of the airport. I think we flew down to Heathrow, trying to find the characters from Airport on BBC, Cyprus Airways, all that random stuff.
He is noble, honestly. He is noble.
But we soon realised we had lots in common. But I do have to say, we don't have everything in common, and I certainly do not share Ryan's obsession with buses and trains. It's aircraft only, that's as far as it goes. But back to the journey. It's 2002. Apps like Grindr, I've not really used them, but they didn't exist. And if you wanted to go out and meet someone, you had to actually physically go to a bar. So there we are, 2002. It's the 25th of October. Me and Ryan are out in Manchester after he'd moved over from Yorkshire to come and study in Manchester. Down Canal Street, Ryan dressed in his best silk shirt. I think it was from Primark, Cedarwood State. And I did actually request this shirt from Ryan, but I think it was burned. I think it was burned for safety reasons. But it was attracting lots of attention, that shirt, that night. I think we were in Churchill's and the barman commented, he said, "I've seen that shirt before." And Ryan was like, "Oh, where went? Page 85 of the Grattan catalogue." But back to this night out, and it's fair to say at this point, my memory was a bit blurred. We'd had a few to drink, we're only 18. But what I do remember is there was somebody attracting the attention of Ryan, very well-dressed person in the nightclub. It wasn't the drag act. It was actually the lovely Ivan. Now, at this point, I was too drunk to carry on with the night, and I ended up being bundled into what I thought was a taxi. There I am, sat in the back of this lovely car, leather seats, the armrests were down. And I said, "Ryan, why are we in a taxi? Why are we going home?" He went, "You're not in a taxi. You're in Ivan's 1998 Renault Megane." On the way back to the student halls of Manchester, because I couldn't carry on anymore or take my drink. So me personally, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you both for taking care of me that night.
You're very welcome, Ryan.
But I'd also like to think that it wasn't for me, we might not all be here today celebrating their lovely day. So there you have it, how Ryan and Ivan met. And from then on, their relationship grew and grew, and they've gone on to have many memories, enjoying the finer things in life and lots of adventures, as well as the odd night out and gossip. I'm privileged to be part of their friendship and their lives, and I do look forward to many more holidays, great times together with you both. You are dear friends, and I can't thank you enough for the amazing day that you've put on for everyone today, so thank you for that. So here we are along this journey. It's 20 years later almost, and now every one of you in this room is part of their journey as well. They finally saved enough air miles to pay for this wedding.
Oh, I wish that was true.
Just think of the Avios. Think of the Avios.
Yeah, well.
Now they say don't marry the person that you can live with, marry the person that you cannot live without. And I think that sums up Ivan and Ryan perfectly. So please, make sure your glasses are charged up again as we raise a glass and toast the happy couple to Ryan and Ivan.
Speech time. Not mine yet. Not mine yet. But I want to hand you over to my best friend, Adele, who is gonna have a little chat with you.
All right, there you go.
Thank you, everybody. Clearly, this is not a traditional wedding. However, I am Adele. Hello. As everybody wants me to say. And I am Ivan's best woman today. When he first asked me, he said, there's 3 things for you to do. First of all, you need to wear a dress. Secondly, you need to do a speech. And thirdly, don't get too drunk. 2 out of 3, guys. 2.
Early, yeah.
It is early. So, I first met Ivan maybe 15, 20 years ago, when we worked for the same company. And when I first met him, I was sat with a load of girls and they all went, "Ooh, he's nice." And I looked at his shoes, looked at his clothes and kind of went, "Out of bounds, girls." Completely. He did, however, have a little bit of hair then. A little bit of hair, not a lot. And then he introduced us to Ryan. And then all hell broke loose. We were renowned for having little parties at New Year's Eve. And they were always dressing up events. And the dress-up of choice was never anything from a charity shop. It was a proper, full-on pilot's outfit. I can't tell you what went on that evening. It just got a little bit messy. But I do remember somebody being flung around like you would flying a child by holding a leg and an arm.
Anyone who knows Ryan will know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Crazy evening. So then we move on to a little story about Ivan and I. So, Ivan and I sorry about that. Ivan and I like to go out to dinner together and we catch up probably about once a month, once every 2 months. And we take it in turns, booking different restaurants, etc. And it was my turn. It's always Italian, has to be, and there's always red wine involved. We spend the whole evening chatting. So we go into a restaurant, we just look at each other, sat across the table, just chatting all night long. Food comes along, and before you know it, you've reached 11 o'clock at night. So it was my turn to book. And there was a new restaurant that had opened, or an old restaurant, which had been taken over by a new couple, close to where I live. And they were a really, really nice young couple, and my husband and I had gone in quite a few times, so we got to know them. We were on first name terms. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Fabulous food, fabulous chef, everything. So it was a great night. We'd spent the whole night catching up. I don't think we'd seen each other for a few weeks, so we were spending the whole night catching up. And it would be traditional that one of the partners would come and pick us up, because we clearly couldn't drive. And it was Tony's turn to come and pick up. So bear in mind that I'd been there quite a lot and they knew me. So Tony came to pick us up and he parked his car at the side of the restaurant and there was glass windows all around the restaurant. So the owner of the restaurant, Adele, saw Tony get out of the car, waved at him and went to greet him at the front door. But then, when Tony tried to come into the restaurant, the owner of the restaurant just kind of went, "Hi." And then Tony would take a step to the other side and he went, And that carried on a few times until he actually twigged. Ardy was trying to stop my husband coming into the restaurant because I was having dinner with another man. So actually, I know who's got my back when I want to go out. Following on from that, I was trying to do a little bit more research to pack this out because it is quite daunting. And I looked on Urban Dictionary for your names.
Oh, God, right. Okay.
I'm going to read this to you. Ivan is a God-fearing man whose purpose is to preach and teach.
Okay.
He's a caring individual with a huge heart. He loves to help others, and he has a passion for mentoring and singing. He has an anointed voice, and he sings all day, every day.
It's quite accurate, actually.
Extremely accurate. He's a business coach. He loves to sing, and I believe he used to sing for your grandma. Did you sing to Elvis? And dance? And then you'd hide in your room with a large bowl of cornflakes. Nothing changes, does it, love?
Cornflakes is still my favourite food. It is.
Ryan. Ryan, it's your turn. Urban Dictionary would tell me that it is Gaelic for little king. You are illustrious and a heart stealer. The first time you would meet is when you fall in love with you. You are the most attractive man, and when you meet your partner, you will never let go. Furthermore, you are an adorable femboy with a big, round, spankable arse. So now we come on to the toast. And tradition, pipe down please. Tradition would have it that the best man, I am the best man without the bits, would toast the bride, and then the maid of honour would toast the groom, and the father of the bride, or whoever's paying, would toast the couple. Clearly none of that's going to work, is it? So all I would say is, can you please stand? Raise your glass to the newlyweds. It's Ivan and Ryan.
Cheers, everyone.
Ivan and Ryan. You done?
I'm done.